If I am to take you there are some things that you should know. The first is that this method of travel is not precisely safe. Moving through the planescape can have perils of its own. The second is that where you are going is not our world. This concept appears simple enough to comprehend, but I assure you, it is not. It is a desolate place with no greenery whatsoever, and if you happen to find yourself on the surface, instead of in the subterranean caves, the winds whirl so loudly that they will drive you deaf at best. It is truly unlike anything you have ever experienced. The gravity pulls away from the center of the plane so aggressively that only miles from the center you will gain the ability to walk on walls, and farther away the concept of up and down will become completely alien. I can get you to Pandasmos, but it is in ruin. Do not stay on the surface for long. You will not be able to communicate verbally, and fire, in any form, cannot exist due to the howling winds. The layer below, Cococtus, is a terror that cannot be described. The raging winds carry the cries of sorrow and anguish, and I, myself, have lost a companion to madness there. In the third layer, Philegeton, there is a river that flows through the sky. For miles and miles it does not touch the ground. The rock is so dark that light will not reflect upon it. Agathion? Well, do not go to Agathion. The third thing you should know is to beware of the locals. Among its citizens you may count old or forgotten gods and one or two who have yet to be forgotten. Do not trifle with them, they are quick to violence. However, if I were you, I would put more effort into those that will stalk you upon your visit. Demons, quasits, any number of wandering spirits and living shadows, and the beast we only speak of as a howler. They appear as beasts, four-legged and spined backs with stout heads, but they are smart and very dangerous. They will attack in a pack, even if you only see one. Especially if you only see one, there will be more. They will hide and ambush you when the terrain favors them, and when it does, they will unleash their eponymous howl. It will shake your resolve, weaken your knees, pierce your heart, and rattle your mind. You will feel it throughout your entire being, and then, when you are confused and panicked, they will attack mercilessly. Are you confident that you would still like to experience this particular adventure? Some of you will not be coming back. Hey there, creatures, and welcome to Encounter This, a podcast exploration of the creatures from Dungeons & Dragons and the lore that surrounds them.
All right, everybody. Welcome, listeners, old and new, to another wonderful, is it going to be wonderful? I hope it's going to be wonderful episode of Encounter This, episode 53, Howlers, where James, a Megabytes kid, as he's well known, will bring us through this creature, with me co-hosting, of course, and my classic childhood nickname, Freeman Spike Easton. And if you want to follow along, join us on the page 210 of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes for this ridiculous creature that I literally know nothing about.
Yeah, this is an odd creature for a great many reasons. It almost comes off chimeric, but we'll get into that or not, I guess, depending on how relevant you feel it is. Okay. Did you say Howlers? Did you say that we're doing the Howler?
I did.
We're doing the Howler.
Yes, I did say Howlers. I purposely pluralized it. I don't know if that's what you're getting at, but
okay. No, I just
written here as a plural.
I don't. I had some time to drink while I was waiting for you, so.
You were waiting for me because I had been drinking, so this would be a good one.
Perfect. Good luck, listeners. As we are wont to do, we're going to start this one off with a quote to put things I don't want to say into perspective because it's certainly not going to do that, but to set the tone, I guess.
All right, cool. Just before you do, I do love when one of us decides to do one of the quotes from the book or whatever, because we don't pick the shitty ones. We always pick something that's really, really good, really gritty. So
yeah, the last episode I did, Oni, the intro was a quote from the dungeon from the monster manual. So
was it like the exposition?
Yeah, the exposition. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Nursery rhyme. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if it's out yet, so you might not have heard it, but I off-key sung a nursery rhyme to another off-key song, and it just, it's bad.
Amazing. So as of this recording, it will be out, but, as of the listeners listening to this recording, but as of us recording it, no, not so much.
Yes. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. I hope you got that, listeners. We've been drinking. Okay, hit me with your quote. What do you got?
Why does the howler sing? Doing so cause its prey to flee, and surely stealth would make for better hunting in howling pandemonium. There's only one answer. It can taste fear. And that's from the big man Mordenkainen himself.
All right. Taste fear. We're not unfamiliar with creatures that feed off fear, I suppose. Tasting it, in the air, I suppose, something like that. That sounds pretty awesome.
I think so, yeah. It's that's kind of where that ends.
Okay, let's just imagine it's got a really, really delicate palate for salty air when you're sweating and with nervousness.
Right. That actually would make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So they are pack predators native to Pandemonium, as I'm sure you picked up on from the quote. They are called howlers due to their mind-shattering howl. Pretty self-explanatory.
Surely.
They're about 2.4 meters or 8 feet long, and they're the same tall, so they're very boxy.
Oh, that is strange. Okay.
Yeah, and they weigh 910 kilos, or about 1 ton, which is the same weight as a 1979 Volkswagen, which I just threw in the chat.
Okay.
Or exactly 5 megabytes of data in the year 1956, which I also just threw to the chat.
All of our Instagram feed is going to be gold for this one.
Yeah. So it's a photo of a man taking down a mainframe from a plane with a forklift.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. It is amazing.
So these guys are weird. So they have these crushed and bruised forelegs that end in claws on their front feet and hooves on their back feet.
Okay.
And they have a mane of quills with a simian-esque face.
Quills. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so if you look at the 2E and the 3 and the 4E art respectively, they really show these quills. The 5E art kinda.
Yeah, I mean they're very porcupine-esque, big time.
Yeah.
And the other ones, they seem a little bit more like vestigial appendages in the 5E art.
They definitely do.
Something that might be used for like detection of their surroundings, or maybe, almost like the Dimetrodon kind of thing without the fin or the webbed fin.
Like back whiskers.
Yeah. Exactly. Back whiskers. That's just a weird phrase.
Yep.
It's gonna call the hair on my shoulders from now on. So I'll be all back whiskers.
I'm sure your friends and family will very appreciate that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So in the 5E art specifically, it doesn't come up in any of the other art, but they have this red, bloated, and inflated vocal sac directly below the jowls that leads about halfway down their neck. So I don't think this is reflected mechanically anywhere, but I think it's just a straight-up new addition to the art of 5th edition. They were just like, you know what, we'll give it a vocal sac.
They are decidedly less simian in this artwork, I find as well, the 5e, compared to the others, at least. With that sac. I think so. I think the sac really pulls away from it in a way. The jaw is like far less defined, and I feel like that's a pretty important part. It gives them a much more reptilian or amphibian kind of look.
I would disagree with you.
How dare you? That's not what this podcast is about.
Fair, but I also legitimately own a book on skulls.
Oh, well, show me the skull, and maybe I'll agree.
So I just sent you a simian skull in the...
oh, yeah, look
this
at
is
that.
a Verret monkey skull, the image that I just sent you.
Okay. I guess it's, if we're talking skull structure, then yeah, I'm with you. But we're not looking at a skeleton. We're looking at a creature. So it's, I don't know, with all that flesh and everything on top, I attribute probably simian-like as a descriptor not to the skeletal system as much as the actual living structure, maybe, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I don't know if that's appropriate of me to do, but...
The shape of the face is kind of defined by the skull, but I see where you're coming from, and I know exactly what you're talking about. In this one, the nose looks a little more... it almost looks like it has a snout, where I don't think that's the case, due to the overextension of the muscle between the top and the lower jaw there.
Yeah,
because of the howling sex. So I think it is actually still pretty flat faced. It's just the art makes it look more like snooded.
Yeah. Neither here nor there, is it?
Not really, no.
This segment is for those who follow on Instagram.
But they're surprisingly intelligent creatures, as we tend to find with these dog-like creatures. They rely on numbers, speed, and the howl that is their namesake. So it's said that they actually feed on the fear of their victims. So I began to think about that, and I thought maybe they just eat the corpses to inspire fear in the remaining living. They don't actually need them for nourishment.
Oh, okay.
So I could not figure out another reason why both of those things would be true.
So I get the chimeric aspect, at least at this point. They are quadrupeds, simian-like faces with porcupine quills, and they howl like a dog might, or what have you. So while maybe not technically chimeric, I get it.
Yeah, and at least in the 3 and the 4E art, they have these weird double jointed back legs too that you don't see very often. Mm-hmm. The 2E art is just a mess.
It feels like a totally different creature.
It does, yeah.
It looks like a creature I really want to know more about, but it's completely different. Like theme going on there. Even the sort of fingers on it, they're not really like paws or claws. They actually look quite amphibian in a claw. They have claws on them, but they have this weird extending sort of like weird, almost like big round padded note to them, like a frog would.
Yeah, and these like long reptilian tails. You're right. It's very smooth.
Yeah.
Oh well. So they have we've got a couple of techniques here that they use in combat. Usually, if you're about to encounter one, you will hear it. So they're almost always heralded by the sound of their wail, even through the weather on Pandemonium. So one of the things I learned while researching this episode is that Pandemonium has constant windstorms, so it's constantly whipping like gale force winds around. Mm-hmm. So to be able to hear their howl through that is a pretty impressive feat.
Okay, cool. That's a nice precedent to set. I like that.
Yeah. So this howl is used to confuse and flood the minds of their victims. It makes complex thought next to impossible. Victims can only really fumble for safety, and prolonged exposure to their bays can lead to pure insanity.
Now, is this under the assumption that these effects happen whilst encountering one outside of Pandemonium? So I like the idea of like if they're in Pandemonium, they've developed this ability to howl because of how blustering and loud it is. So when you encounter them outside of it, it's just like that much more jarring because there's nothing to mitigate it.
I believe that this is regardless of where they are. You will feel these effects. Yeah, I'm sure it's worse than the material plane to a being who's never experienced Pandemonium and isn't prepared for that. But who knows?
Totally. Obviously, right away, I'm thinking concentration checks from that. No complex thoughts,
Right. Put a pin in that.
Will do.
Yeah. It's actually a little more vicious than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this howl will then often be used as the opening volley of combat and will really determine the outcome for a pack of howlers throughout the entire engagement. Like, if they can get this howl off and it messes with their opponents, they're probably going to win.
Mm.
And then as soon as they come within melee range, the quills in their back become erect and they attack with savage ferocity and focus.
Do they? Do you know if their initial howl does not really jar their target too much? Do they then retreat?
Oh yeah. So they do tend to use hit and run tactics after stunning their prey. If you encounter a solo one of these, they tend to be kind of non-aggressive and cowardly, but they embody that savage ferocity when in a pack.
Hmm.
And the younger kill quickly for the rush of terror felt at a violent death, but the older, smarter ones kill slowly, terrorizing and drawing out the victim's suffering.
Oh, I have a little reference for that you'll appreciate, I think, maybe. Perhaps a number of our listeners. You just reminded me of the Wheel of Time in that sort of delicate balance of like bringing in the one power and like how it can feel like a rush and you have to like stop yourself from taking in too much. Not that that's in play here, but it's kind of a cool like comparison to the those who first embrace it, learn to embrace it, and when they do, and to those who like eventually learn to like stay at the side and learn to like, you know, appreciate it when it's of the most use and that sort of thing.
Right, and that's the female half of the power, Sayadine.
Yes. Sidene? I think it's Sidene, yeah.
I can never remember if it's Sidene or Sidar.
Yeah, I always mix them up too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just remember that. I love that.
Yeah, it's really good. The Howlers, they're native to Pandemonium, as we've touched on, but they can be found in most lower planes and material planes. They're popular pets of fiends, hags, quasids, orcs, and succubi, which is a pretty inclusive list.
Yeah, I'd say. I love that we've suddenly, ever since we did hags, we've just been finding things that are cohorts or pets of hags. Yeah. I think we did a good job doing those early.
Yeah, that was definitely a smart decision because they appear to be in everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good mistake.
Yeah. So the Howler, they can be trained to be warhounds or steeds, but they only tend to respond to brutal tactics. But once broken, they'll follow the new, quote-unquote pack leader without any question, just like some more aggressive dog breeds.
Yeah.
They are prized by these beings, specifically hags and orcs, for their ability to neutralize enemy spellcasters.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a hell of a thing. I mean, that's what we get in the 2E art there is that's the only one that represents someone riding the creature, even though that creature is quite different from the rest.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense. Just imagine having, like, your mount in combat is already an immensely useful, tactic or, like, tool to use. But the fact that it could stop spellcasters is, that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And in 2E and 4E, the greatest Howlers serve something called Death Giants, which I don't know what that is, but that sounds fucking metal.
I just made a face of holy shit. What's a Death Giant? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, so I will send you... I only have one image here of a Death Giant. And this is from the ForgottenRealms.com. But it looks like essentially a vampire giant, and it is just metal as hell.
Oh my god, yeah. That axe it's wielding. Jeez. It looks like a oh man. I don't even know. You're right. It's like a vampire giant meets almost hobgoblin. Oof.
Yeah, sorry. I guess I should clarify. When I say vampire, don't think Twilight, think Nosferatu.
Did you just assume our listeners are mostly Twilight fans?
I mean, if anyone out there who's seen Nosferatu, period, full stop, should just write me for a virtual high five, because I don't think many people have seen it. How many people our age watch silent films? I mean, I get that there was the remake in 1990, I want to say, with the Typo Negative soundtrack, which was fine, but like the original black and white silent film with Max Schreck was just... I think I might have just fucked up. I don't know if it was Max Schreck anymore. Now I'm second guessing. Anyway, it's a fucking incredible movie. It does such a good job at setting the scene.
Regardless, cool idea. Very, very ungiant-like in this artwork, even like in its traditional sort of like style and theme. It's something that's got to go on the Instagram. That's really cool.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. We only have one honorable mention. Mm-hmm. That is the Howler Spike, which was a pet of Cressel Blackbones, a half-orc, half-red dragon from the Thunder Peaks from 3rd edition.
Ooh. Wait. Oh, a half-dragon. Not like a... Okay. Half-dragon's like their own species, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, they're not a playable race in 5e, but they are a creature in 5e, a half-dragon. So it's not dragonborn, it's a half-dragon. Okay. And it mated with an orc. Oh, fuck, that's gnarly. That's something I don't think we've ever come across in 5e in particular. So this is a 3e thing?
This is 3, yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool. A very unimaginative name, I have to say. Spike. but still cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought you meant Cressel Blackbones. I'm like,
No, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Spike the quilled dog. It's kind of, that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And that appears in Dragon Magazine, or Dungeon Magazine number 88 in the adventure The Door from Everywhere, which we will have linked to a free copy in the show notes.
Sweet. Love it.
That's it for D&D, and I hope you're ready for a relatively short cultural lore.
I surely am. I mean, that was all pretty good. Not super deep, but I enjoyed it. I particularly love the bit about the weather and pandemonium, and like just how that's still rocking my brain. So I like it.
Yeah, and I like that I like that they're specified as steeds too. I thought that was really cool.
And what an interesting steed to have with like porcupine quills. There's got to be something extra there. I like it. Yeah.
So in our world, I couldn't find any true inspirations for these. There wasn't anything that really jumped out at me. So I figured that they're probably a combination of black dog folklore and howler monkeys. So I just sent you a photo of a black howler monkey. And earlier this week, I sent you a video that I told you was your homework, which was the sound of a black howler monkey.
Oh, I did listen to that. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is straight up nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
So these creatures without vocal sacs like the howler can be heard from up to about 5 kilometers away, and they're said to be the loudest species on Earth. So they have like this hollow bone where they create the resonance in their neck. Mm-hmm. And they're a common pet in Argentina. So there's that. Pet. If you don't want a guard dog, you can have a black howler monkey.
Amazing. Super
and they're
cool.
fucking adorable. And
they are so. I was about to say they're so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's super cool. That's 5 kilometers away. I wonder what the decibel level is on that howl.
I did not come across it, but that would have been a good thing to research.
Yeah.
If I was good at my job.
Here we are, professional researchers. Research this. Welcome to a new episode of Research This.
Yeah. That's pretty much what our show is.
The only reason I think of it is because when I was quite young, I went to a specialist for my hearing because I'm relatively deaf, and I remember the specialist telling me that the loudest natural sound that our ears are evolved to is a waterfall. But we regularly exceed that decibel level with like loud music in our ears, with our headphones and that sort of thing.
Oh, I mean, even a rumbling truck is over that. Like, we shouldn't even be standing next to, like, 18-wheelers. Like
sirens and that sort of shit, right? Like, that really stuck with me for a long time. Every time I hear something extremely loud, it sort of pops into my head in the background. I think that's a really fascinating fact that, it just really emphasizes, like, how far we've come in a short time, during the Industrial Revolution and that sort of thing. And how our bodies have just not caught up. Our minds may have, but our bodies just certainly have not on an evolutionary level, and I think that's really cool. So that's what makes me think of, like, how exactly how loud is this monkey? And I actually wonder what if in a geographical sense, to people that are used to being around them, do they have a sort of heightened level of resistance to sound, even maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah. Just a passing
so I just
thought.
found it.
Oh yeah, okay.
So for reference, a jet engine at takeoff is about 150 decibels, which is loud enough to shred your eardrums.
Wicked.
A howler monkey can reach up to 140 decibels.
What? Oh, holy shit!
Yeah.
So one of these could straight up deafen you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And the loudest animal is blue whale, which is 188 decibels. It can be heard 160 kilometers away.
My God, that really to have a really nice real world reference point for the howl on this creature that we're going to cover pretty soon. Like, that's really fucking cool. Like, that's terrifying. That's actually terrifying. Okay, I'm thoroughly enthused now. Continue. Okay. Let's move on.
I guess if you want to learn any more about the black dog folklore, we've covered most of it. In episode 4, Hellhounds, 22, Yethhounds, and 39, Shadow Mastiff. There's still a little bit left to cover the black dog folklore, but you're going to have to sit on that because that will be done with Barguess.
Fair enough.
The only other thing I wanted to touch on was the vocal sac, because it's so prominent in the 5e art. It seemed worth touching on. Yeah. So it's found, this specific type of vocal sac is found in many frog species and is used to amplify mating calls.
Okay.
I just sent a picture of a frog with a vocal sac in the chat. So frogs without a vocal sac can be heard from about 1 to 2 meters away. Frogs with a vocal sac can be heard about 1 kilometer away. So this one appendage can amplify the radius of your sound between 500 times and 1,000 times.
Makes you wonder if people like Pavarotti have a hidden vocal sac. That's unbelievable. It's so crazy.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
For lore. Just a bunch of stuff that I made up and a bunch of stuff that I thought was interesting. Like, I cannot tell you for a fact that this was based on the howler monkey, but based on the fact that it screams at people and it's got a simian face, kind of says that it is.
Yeah. So cool. That howl, the whole vocal sac thing, it's got me roped in now, big time. Really cool. Really, really neat.
I legitimately think this is a fantastic creature. I think... as usual, the thing that I find the best about the D&D creatures is whether or not the lore adds up to the mechanics. And we will always our breaking find point, out isn't it? In a couple of seconds here after our scheduled ad break. So, Freeman, I have a confession to make today.
Oh no, you haven't.
I just straight up forgot to buy beer. Which, believe it or not, would not happen if we were legitimately sponsored by Strange Fellow's Delicious Blackmail Stout.
Yeah, that's very bad.
Instead, I have been drinking sake and Twin Sails Juice Plus IPA, which is also very delicious. Also a Vancouver brewery. The sake is not. It is the cheapest sake money can buy, and I love it. Shut your mouth, don't at me.
I mean, this would not be the first time that we didn't crack, at least one of us didn't crack a blackmail for this. Mine was the first bad. Although I did say later on that turns out I did have a 4-pack in the back of my fridge.
Right, you had it in the back of the fridge, yeah.
Yeah. But this is a true failure. You don't have a 4-pack in the back of your fridge, do you?
Nope. No, I looked.
You're done fucked up.
Yeah.
That's all right. I mean, I won't lie. Every time we've cracked a beer, it's not always been a blackmail. But I can honestly say I've drunk at least a blackmail during a recording every time, except for that one time.
Yeah, fair enough. And I think this is my second time not having a blackmail, but...
Okay. You just kept it to yourself until now?
No, I think I said it on air.
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah. I mean, regardless, it's Strange Fellows bad for not sponsoring us.
Is what I'm saying is that this is their fault. They could have free advertising if they just would give up, like $40 a month.
Right. I mean, yeah, exactly. That's it.
Any other Vancouver or BC based breweries, you wanna sponsor us with 2 4-packs per month, you can have Strange Fellows ad spot. As long as it's as good as the blackmail stuff.
I was like, you better fucking follow up for that. Just gonna put an open call for that? I don't think so. Well, we can't win them all. Let's just assume that you've drunk all your blackmail before we started recording, because I was late.
All right, will do.
That makes me happy. All right, speaking of drinking, bring us to the mechanics.
Okay. These are not a light creature. They are a CR8.
Okay.
With 90 HP and 16 natural armor.
I was kind of hoping they'd be a bit higher, even though they are possibly a mount. I really wanted them to be a badass mount.
And they kind of really are. The more I read about them, the more I realize that these are not a creature to be thrown in lightly. Like, you do not throw 4 of these at a party of 10 level 10 PCs. Like, I just don't know if you could do it. But let's get there. They are large fiends, chaotic evil. They understand but do not speak abyssal. They are resistant to cold, fire, lightning, and non-magical basic. They are straight up immune to frighten, and they have 60 feet of dark vision.
Cool.
The stats are nothing to really write home about. Strength 17, Dex 16, Con 15, 20 Wisdom, which is great because that, it reflects how smart these creatures really are.
Mm-hmm.
Abilities, they're fine. The first one here is Pack Tactics, the only one is Pack Tactics, which gives you advantage if an ally is within 5 feet, not incapacitated. So they're meant to be thrown at you as pack creatures. Okay, and they have multi-attack, so they make 2 bite attacks. Their bite attack is called Rending Bite. It's not actually a straight-up bite attack.
Okay.
It is +6 to attack, 5-foot reach, 2d6 +3 piercing.
Seems low for a CR8, though. 2d6 is not low, but +3 is pretty low.
But if the target is frightened, they do an extra 4d10 psychic damage.
Hot damn. That's no longer low at all. It's extremely high. Yeah. That's in addition.
That's in addition, yeah. This attack ignores DR.
Wait, the bite or the psychic or the
bite? The whole attack just straight up ignores damage resistance.
So not even a barbarian is going to resist this one?
Nope, taking the whole thing.
Okay, everyone, 5e barbarians are overpowered? This is a known thing? Use this creature. That's amazing. Holy shit. Yeah. That'll put the fear of the gods in them for sure. That's amazing.
Yeah. So that's, 4d6 plus 6 piercing per round, possibly an extra 8d10 psychic.
Insane.
Just going straight through. Yeah.
Yeah.
And their last attack here is what you've all been waiting for. It is the Mind-Breaking Howl. So this is a recharge on a 6. It is a 60-foot cone.
Cone, okay.
Yeah, DC 16 Wisdom save or frightened until the end of the Howlers next turn.
Okay.
Usual 5e bullshit, success if immune for 24 hours, blah, 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 blah. So in addition to the frightened condition, for those of you who need a reminder, frightened means you have disadvantage on ability and attacks, and you cannot move closer to the thing that's frightening you. Your speed is halved. So even if you're trying to run away as a barbarian, you only move half speed. You are incapacitated, which means you cannot take actions or reactions. So you can only move half speed away from this thing.
So frightened is pretty brutal. Yeah. Okay.
That's not frightened. That's in addition to being frightened.
Oh,
Frightened is just disadvantage on ability and attacks, and you can't move closer. In addition to that, your speed is halved and you are incapacitated. So your only action, if you fail this DC 16 wisdom save, is to move away at half speed from this creature. Otherwise, it is going to hit you with 2 of those 2d6 plus 40, 10 plus 6 attacks that just straight up ignore DR. If you want to kill a barbarian, this is the creature to do it.
Literally, like, stop them in their tracks. They can barely move away, and just, even if they're raging, just maul them to death. That's so good. Can you just slide one of these in to our Rime of the Frostbane campaign and kill Michael? That'd be amazing. He doesn't listen to the show. I know he doesn't.
I'm not going to say no, but I am on record on this show as saying I'm going to run that as close to Azbook as possible, so I have a fair.
Yeah. That's fair.
Fair reference point.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So far, all I've done is rewrite the descriptions. I've even tracked the HP of the encounters.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a hell of a thing. I guess I get the cone thing, but I feel like I would give it like I think it was the Banshee that had the, I don't know if it was on 5e, but it might have been, I think it was in 3e possibly, or 3.5, where they had the option of a 30-foot radius or a 60-foot cone. They could like sort of create a different direction for it.
Gotcha.
So immediately I would maybe add that. Because if it's going to be that kind of loud, there's almost no reason why it would be purely directional. But maybe they could have the option.
I'll tell you why it's purely directional, and that's just straight up to nerf it.
Yeah. Totally.
Based on the lore, this thing should be heard from a kilometer away. Mm-hmm. Like, it should have the same range as a Harpies, which I think is 500 feet. And based on what we've seen by the frogs in real life using the vocal sac to amplify their mating call, it shouldn't just be 60 feet. Like, it should be 600 feet.
Right. Yeah. I mean, no, it's not about necessarily being heard, but rather having that sound having a physical effect on you, right? So, I mean, it's still too short a distance. I'm with you, but 60-foot cone, it's sort of a standard number to use, and that's it. It's within that range that it has a physical impact on you, right? And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that at the end of the day, without getting too pedantic about it.
I'd be fine with the 60-foot cone if you were not immune on a success, because now we're nerfing the distance, we're nerfing its ability to do the attack with the recharge, and now we're nerfing its success. That really bugs me to my soul.
Yeah. But when you start running the numbers, and 5e's not known for its perfect numbers, but when you start running the numbers, is when you start playing with that too much, you really can TPK a party real easy by mistake. I mean, you never want to do it by mistake, right?
No.
So I'm with
you.
Yeah.
I get that success is immune. Like, that's fine with this. I'm normally fine with the success is immune. I'm normally fine with the 60-foot cone, and I'm fine with the recharge. It's just all three of them together. I don't like, because now you're nerfing every aspect of this creature that should be a horrifying beast.
I'll tell you what. We're done with the stat block. Is that right?
Yeah,
we're in the homebrew now. Okay,
we're in the homebrew.
I'll tell you what I would do. Is that if you... So I don't 100% know how I do this, but what I would say is maybe add a deafened effect in here, and I know that's like adding on to this already beast thing, but the deafened effect is what makes you immune. Or rather, if you find a way to mute sound, such as the silence spell or what have you. That's what creates you immune. But just like hearing a howl and then succeeding a save, in this case, a wisdom save. It's not even a constitution save. It should be a constitution save. Actually, so that's what we're talking about. We're talking about two different things here, actually, now I think about it. The wisdom save is against frightened, and now I'm thinking about the physical effects on you, the physical impact, which should be a constitution save. So I almost wonder if this should have both, or in some strange order of operations, one to the other. It's on the fly. It's hard to get my head around, I guess.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from, and I think you're right. So I would just remove the success from if immune, and I would change it to a constitution save because of all the things that you've said. If you're within 60 feet of something that can be heard from, a kilometer away through the howling winds of pandemonium, this isn't a mental effect. This is a physical thing. This thing is liquefying your organs in your body, and that's why your speed is half. That's why you're incapacitated. That's why you're frightened.
Right.
So being within 60 feet of this thing is the danger zone. Recharge on a 6, I'm fine with. 16 wisdom save, I'm fine with. 60-foot cone, I'm fine with. But I think you need to remove that success if you're immune if you roll a successful save, because you're not. You shouldn't be, because you're still within 60 feet of this thing. You're still within its attack range to liquefy your lungs with its howl. Yeah. And I think that's and a constitution save fits that, because we're not playing with mental fortitude here. We're playing with, like, I get that it's a wisdom save because it's a frightened condition, yada, yada, yada.
It's literally called mind-breaking howl as well, right?
Yeah. And, fine, but change the name. Just change the name to Breaking Howl. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I think I've sorted out maybe what I would like to do.
Okay, event enough.
Yeah, totally. And I'm with you. I think what I would do is change what it is right now. I would change what it is right now to a con save, and not frightened, but deafened.
Okay.
And then I would add an alternate option, still to keep the recharge 6, keep it a little bit mitigated. Add the alternate option of doing it the 30-foot burst, 30-foot radius. But then that's when it's a wisdom save, and that's when it's a frightened. So like, keep that in the stat block, even if you don't feel like it makes a whole lot of sense. But keep it original, keep it to the original. But a 60-foot cone, a more directional attack, something that's like they clearly have more intent behind. And just like they're pushing it towards these creatures in this spot, as opposed to anyone around me. And that has a more physical effect. So that's why it's a con save. That's why it's deafened. And then the deafened could maybe transfer over. If you're deafened, then, while that has a downside for a number of reasons, it at least makes you immune to the possibility of being frightened if they try a different tactic. And then like, you're almost, depending on how you run your game and how you like feed the information to your players, some people play, very close to the chest. Some people very, very, very open. But the tactics, but like, if you have that sort of dynamic, with the 60-foot cone versus the 30-foot radius and the different types of checks and results, you suddenly find yourself fighting a creature where you're like, the whole group has to stay spread out, surround it, but also stay in a middling range, because that cone, if you stay too far away, that cone can cover too far a distance. And it becomes this really interesting, I think in theory, a really interesting tactical sort of map that I'm picturing of where you need to stand to be the safest, the most effective for the whole party. And I think that would be a really crazy way of doing that. And not to mention the fact that you might be facing this creature that's trying to do melee attacks and have someone on its back. It's like, when you really pull it all together, and if you were to add these things, the CR of this creature skyrockets to something extraordinarily complex, which is not whatever a DM wants, but it has this possibly incredible depth to it. And might make for a really, really interesting and harrowing and crazy combat for your players. End rant.
Yeah, you're not wrong at all. I like where you're taking it. It's just not where I personally want it to go. I want this thing to be like a sound weapon.
Right. You want it to be sonic.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I want this thing to be terrifying and horrible, because the way that this creature's built with that vocal sac, with its ability to give it directional force, like that's what I want out of it. I also just went back over the stat block, and it is and it does say that it's immune to all of the mind-breaking howls from any howler for the next 24 hours. So even if you fight a pack of these things, it's not just one that you're immune to.
That doesn't make sense.
All of them.
I don't like that at all. No.
And I get that, like, this thing is intentionally nerfed, and I'm sure it's intentionally nerfed for a reason. I've never run one, so unfortunately I don't have real combat expertise to add to this. But again, at this point, as a veteran 5e DM, I know my party would obliterate this thing. It's got fucking 16 AC, 90 HP. Like, you guys aren't even 8th level. You're 6th, 5th level, and you would fucking destroy this thing.
Right. That is such a downside, eh? Like the fact that this creature is so badass, but it doesn't stand a chance. There's something wrong there, right? You know what you might add is that, because now that you said that, it makes me think that there are very few con saves in 5e that don't involve disease or poison, which is definitely a mistake. And that sort of sonic element, which is represented through thunder damage in 5e, so thunderclap and thunder wave and that sort of thing, they just don't happen often enough, I don't think. And I think this is a really great way to do it. And I think thunder is a terrible word for it. I think they purposely went out of their way to like make it not the word sonic, because it's
sonic's very futuristic.
Right, but it's like a futuristic a word or definition, but rather than, thunder is like, a little bit more medieval-esque or something like that. So I get why they've used it, but it's, I don't see why it wouldn't be incorporated here, like why they couldn't just admit the fact that thunder is sonic, and right here is where they howl so hard it actually hurts you and does thunder and or sonic damage. And that might be just another simple alternate way of like really making this creature dangerous. And again, maybe play with the 60-foot cone and the 30-foot radius and choose one to do damage and one to do the effect of frightened or what have you. But like that's an alternate option as well.
Yeah, I love that. I love that there would be options, but when I do these things, I'm not often trying to make them better for you or for me. I'm trying to make them better to somebody who's run it for the first time. Right. And I think you're right with the thunder damage, but remove the whiz save, make that a con save, remove the success, the immunity after a success, and change the damage. Well, it doesn't matter, but I would change the damage. No, I wouldn't change the damage of the rending bite from psychic to thunder. I would just leave it as psychic. I don't care.
It genuinely feels like the only reason it's a wisdom save is because of the frightened condition. Because
I believe that's exactly why.
Yeah, the speed halved and the incapacitated are like such physical reactions.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this isn't about you being scared. This is about your organs liquefying. Because at loud temperatures, they will do that.
Yeah.
Or at loud volumes, they will do that. Like, you can vibrate lungs in your body so hard that they liquefy. Like, this is what that's doing.
Right.
So it feels like a slight misstep, and again, that immunity on a successful save really bugs me, because it doesn't really reflect the power coming from this creature, and that's where it bugs me. Is I get why it's there.
Yeah.
I normally ignore that rule anyway. So
totally.
Like,
if you're not improving as a GM and making slight rules to fly and trying to make it fair, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, as Matthew Koval says and loves to say, encounter design does not end at initiative. You are It is your job to continually change and edit that encounter even as it's going. To make it more interesting and more fun for your players.
Yeah.
And for my players, I don't know what it is about you guys or your party synergy, but it feels like every encounter that I do not change a la minute is too easy for you, and that's not fun for anyone.
I mean, we've had some great encounters in Rime of the Frost Maiden, and over the years. But it's usually the ones that put us closer to death's door that are the most memorable, right?
The encounters in Rime of the Frost Maiden that you guys have had more of a challenge with are the encounters that I'm playing. Like, I'm not letting the creatures play. I'm playing. Right. I don't know if you know the difference there, but
I mean, I never assume as we're going, so I don't like analyze it and try to figure it out, because that will pull me out of the moment, right? So I assume nothing. The only one that really stands out is spoiler alert, fighting the Illithids. Right. And I was messaging Michael like, "You're gonna die." But that's only because I knew what the creature could possibly do, and he was already 3 steps in to like possibly dying. So I was like, "Holy shit!" But otherwise, everything else has been kind of easy breezy. Even though my character's gone down multiple times, but I'm like, it's 5.
Yeah. Right. So anything with an intelligence over 10, I play, and I play them very tactically and intelligently, and they move around the battlefield. They change things. The state of the encounter changes. Anything with an intelligence under 10 just goes for the whatever hurt it the most last. And that's how I've always run my encounters. And you guys only ever have troubles with the ones that I play. Like when there is that element of intelligence in there.
Mm-hmm. You know what you could do, and this is I guess a sidebar. Maybe you do or do not do it, I don't know. But consider wisdom as well, but in a survival sense. Survival tactics sense. So it's like, what creature am I playing? How high is their wisdom? And will they run away, or will they turn into a cornered dog? And like, what can I add to that encounter as well? But otherwise, like, I think that's a great strategy, like a super great strategy.
And I do tend to play wisdom. The higher the wisdom, the more likely you guys are to get ambushed. So this is a wisdom 20 creature. So if you guys were ever to fight Howlers, it would never be one Howler. It would be 3 or 4, and they would lead you into an ambush. They would kite you into like a valley where they could cone down on you. So instead of it being one Howler unleashing one cone, it would be 4 Howlers unleashing 4 cones into like this valley. And they would, like, I would use proper military tactics to kite you into their ground. And that's what the higher intelligence or the higher wisdom means to me. It's not like an intelligent creature and a wise creature, they'll both flee. But a creature with low wisdom will also flee. But a creature with higher intelligence will flee sooner. And that's how I've always run it. Just a lot of the time when I realize that my creatures are going down, there's either an opportunity for them to make one last desperate, vengeful attack, or they start to run and you guys murder them.
Yeah. We tend to be a murder hobo group.
You're a fucking great group, though. I love playing with you guys.
It is fun, yeah.
I love that you guys do refuse to play as a team. Like, just absolutely refuse to, and still somehow manage to absolutely just dominate this adventure.
Seriously.
Like, there's no synergy. There's never any planning. There's no talking before an engagement. You don't scout anything. It's like, we'll kick down the door and murder everything. It's fine. Yeah. And you always do. You almost always do.
Yeah. It is a one of a kind. No, it's probably many of a kind, dime a dozen kind of style of play. But it is fun. It is.
You guys are really good at it. Is my point. Like, the amount of
even
character
mundane
sheets I have in my kill drawer should be so much higher based on the style of your play.
Seriously, if we played that way in Pathfinder, we'd be fucked.
Yeah.
And you and I know that at this point, especially
for sure. Yeah.
If you're not thinking about it, if you're not playing it right, you're gonna get screwed. Yeah.
But what about you guys? Have you guys used a Howler? What kind of tactics, if any, do your parties use when it comes to creatures like this? Throw us a message. We're on Twitter and Facebook at EncounterPod. We're on Instagram at encounter.pod. If you really like this episode and you want to help us keep making them, you want a handwritten letter or access the show notes, $5 a month will get you there. $10 a month, you can suggest a creature so you can get us started on that goblin suite with the Barghest, or I don't know, maybe there's some other creature in 5e with a vocal sac that I don't know about, or there's a loud simian that we haven't covered. $10 a month will get us to do it. I mean, you know, it could be Chewbacca's howl from Star Wars Scoundrels. We'll cover any creature from any system. We don't know what we're doing. Doesn't matter.
We don't know what we're doing.
If you want to check out any of those old episodes, the Hellhounds, the Yethhounds, the Shadow Mastiff, for more info on the Black Dog folklore, you can find all that stuff at encounterthis.ca. And you can always shoot us an email at info@encounterthis.ca, and please rate and review on your podcast of choice, because it really does help with our placement in the store and getting new listeners. I'm so tired. So sweaty.
Oh man, me too. This was a good episode though. I like this.
Yeah, this one was fun.
We hit mechanics about at the 30-minute mark, and now we're in almost an hour in.
Same with Oni. Exact same thing happened with Oni. This is like how I do creatures now. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you in the next one.